All right, let's talk football. Today, we're diving deep into an organization that runs the beautiful game for, get this, over half of the entire planet's population. It is a job of almost unimaginable scale, and we're going to figure out exactly how it all works.
So, let me ask you a question. What do you think is the biggest job in world football? Is it, I don't know, managing a super club like Real Madrid? Maybe running FIFA itself? I mean, those are massive jobs for sure. But what if the biggest challenge is something else entirely?
You heard that right. We are talking about the governing body for a region that's home to more than 4.5 billion people. The sheer scale of that is just mind-boggling, and it fundamentally shapes everything about football in Asia. So, to really wrap our heads around this, let's start with that scale. We're about to step into the massive, incredibly diverse kingdom of the Asian Football Confederation, or as you'll hear it called, the AFC. 47. Just let that number sink in. That's how many different nations and territories fall under the AFC's umbrella. And you know, this is not some uniform block of countries. It's a breathtaking spectrum. Just think about the contrast between the high-tech, super-organized J-League in Japan and, say, the very real challenges of growing the game in a place like Bhutan. That is the world the AFC has to navigate.
So what exactly is it? Well, officially, the AFC was born way back in 1954. It's one of the 6 major confederations that basically act as the pillars holding up FIFA's global structure. Its whole reason for being is to develop, promote, and regulate football across this massive and, let's be honest, incredibly complex continent.
And that question, right there, gets to the heart of the challenge. You've got these enormous distances, dozens of completely distinct cultures, rivalries that go back centuries, not to mention wildly different levels of football development. Seriously, how on earth do you even begin to manage all of that? Well, it turns out the AFC came up with a pretty clever solution.
They broke it down. Instead of trying to manage one giant, overwhelming group, they divided the continent into 5 smaller, much more manageable regions. It's kind of like taking a 10,000-piece puzzle and turning it into 5 2,000-piece puzzles. It's still a challenge, but it's doable. This lets them run more local competitions and really target the unique needs of, say, South Asia versus East Asia. It's smart.
Okay, so we've got the structure down. Now let's get to the good stuff, the glory. What are all these nations and their best clubs actually playing for? This is where you find the passion, the drama, and really the soul of Asian football.
And just like everywhere else in the football world, the battle is fought on 2 main fronts. On one side, you've got the national teams. That's all about the flag, national pride, and bringing an entire country together. And on the other side, you have the week-in, week-out grind of club football, where city rivals and national champions battle it out for supremacy. For the national teams, these are the big ones. The AFC Asian Cup is the absolute pinnacle. It's Asia's version of the Euros or the Copa America. Win that, and your team achieves continental immortality. The Women's Asian Cup carries that same weight and prestige. And, of course, woven through it all is that grueling, heart-stopping journey of World Cup qualification. The ultimate dream for any player or fan. Now, on the club side, things have recently been shaken up into this new 3-tiered system. Right at the top, you have the brand new AFC Champions League Elite. This is the stage for the absolute heavyweights. Below that, the Champions League 2 gives other really strong clubs a shot at glory. And maybe most importantly, the Challenge League provides a vital platform for teams from emerging football nations to get that crucial experience in international competition. Okay, so we know the structure, and we know the prizes they're fighting for. But who are the teams that are consistently at the top? Let's take a look at the power players, the giants who rule the Asian football landscape. If you look at the current rankings, you get a really clear picture of the modern hierarchy. Japan, with their technical brilliance, they are almost always near the top. Right behind them, you have the usual suspects. The physical power of Iran, the non-stop energy of South Korea, and Australia, who've been a major force since they joined the AFC. And you know what's really interesting? Seeing nations like Uzbekistan consistently knocking on the door of that elite group. But hey, current form is one thing. Historical glory is a whole different ballgame. When you look at the ultimate prize, the Asian Cup, Japan still leads the pack with 4 titles. But right there with them are the traditional giants of West Asia, Saudi Arabia and their huge rivals Iran, both with 3 championships. This right here shows you the deep, competitive history that fuels the continent's biggest matchups. So, with this incredible scale and this rich history, where does Asian football go from here? Well, the AFC isn't just sitting back and maintaining things. It has a bold, and I mean incredibly ambitious, vision for the future.
This quote from the AFC president, it really gets to the heart of their whole philosophy. The key word in there for me is excellence. The goal isn't just to be the biggest confederation because of population. The real goal is to be the best confederation by every single measure, both on and off the pitch.
And that, right there, is the ultimate mission. The AFC's motto is literally "The future is Asia," and they mean that as a serious statement of intent. The objective is to transform Asian football into a global leader and, most importantly, to see Asian teams not just show up at the World Cup, but to actually win it.
Which brings us to the final, absolutely tantalizing question. We've seen the scale, we've seen the passion, we've seen the ambition. We've watched teams like South Korea and Japan get so close in the World Cup knockout stages. So with all this investment and focus, it really feels less like a question of if and a whole lot more like a question of when. When will an Asian nation finally lift football's ultimate prize? The entire continent is holding its breath.